Following photo was submitted by Taylor P.I., who writes, "Here's a photo that I found online. There's little to no information on the photo, except for a small caption that reads, 'A young man takes a photo behind an old building and gets photobombed by someone inside.' Even though the caption implies that a person had photobombed the picture, it looks nothing like a person. I don't know, but it seems more like a ghost than a human to me." Here's the photo that Taylor's referring to. Now, given that the caption states that the photo was taken in front of an old building, it might be the case that something other than a person had been caught in the photograph. But as always, what do you think? Could this be evidence of something paranormal? Or is this simply a random stranger inside the building who photobombed the picture? With very little information, it seems that this question will remain unanswered. What exactly had been caught in this photo? Facebook users Juan and Nicole are a married couple who've been experiencing strange activity at home. It wasn't too long ago when the couple had posted a video of what many viewers consider to be the most active poltergeist activity caught on camera. Yet prior to this video, Juan and Nicole had a similar experience in a different house. And it's because of this previous encounter that many believe that the married couple are being followed by something. To be more specific, viewers believe that a malicious entity of some sort has been haunting the two wherever they go. Although it's not clear if the couple also believes this, they have no doubt in their mind that the following incident deals with something paranormal. According to the couple, they were watching a scary movie with a friend inside their living room when all of a sudden, strange things began to occur. It was after this incident that they looked over the footage caught by their security camera to make sense of what occurred that day. But it seems that watching this footage has only left them even more disturbed. Midway through the footage, the friend claims to have seen the stuffed bear on the couch move on its own. He points this out to the couple, who in response tells him that he's probably just seeing things. But then, after shrugging it off to being nothing, the following happens. This is what was caught.
No, mijo, esto tenemos que subirlo, Esto, mijo, uy, si es que hay alguien que sabe de estas cosas, claro, que nos ayude. Yo me quiero ir. No. Mira, la sombra blanca, ¿sí la viste?
Sí, pero no. Ahí yo fue que ya comencé a sentirme mal.
¿Por qué?
Porque mira, a ver, eso yo sí lo vi claramente, así, de reojo. Oye, ¿por qué te... Mira, ¿sí?
¡Uy!
¿Sí viste? Eso sí. Eso sí.
¡Uy, mira!
Yo no sabía para dónde ir.
¡Uy, mira!
Yo no sabía qué era.
Behind the couch where the friend had sat, a shadow-like figure can be seen on camera for a split second before quickly disappearing behind the sofa. Worth mentioning that the following video features a doll, so if you plan on sleeping tonight, you'll probably want to skip this one. Now, the video itself doesn't have much info. It seems to have been shot years ago, as the quality of the footage isn't exactly 4K. But it's what happens in the video that makes up for the lack of quality, for what's captured on camera is pretty unsettling. The video starts off with a child who seems very excited over the fact that the camera on which this video had been recorded is finally working after failing to turn on for a while. Enthused that the camera is now functioning, the child excitedly tells her mother about this while recording her. The child then goes on to tell their sister about this. However, it's what happens next that has left viewers of the video disturbed. Take a look.
Mami, mira, ya aprendí a grabar, voltea. Sí. Ay, Jasmine, ya aprendí a grabar, enana. Ay, Michi, se me olvidó. Michi, voltea. Ay, voltea. Michi,
Behind the child's sister, the head of a doll that's placed on top of a dresser turns on its own. And it doesn't move just slightly, as though small vibrations had caused this, but rather turns its head almost completely around before stopping to look at the camera directly at its lens. But even more unsettling is the fact that it turned its head after the child repeatedly asked his sister to turn around and look at the camera. Because of this, viewers find this video to be evidence of something paranormal. According to them, a certain entity attached to the doll's head had thought the child was calling out to them, when in fact, the child was actually calling out to their sister. Now, of course, as with most videos, this is purely speculative. It isn't obvious as to what exactly had caused the doll's head to move, but as always, I'll let you come up with your own ideas. Had something paranormal been caught on camera, or was something else caught instead? Feel free to let me know what you think. March 6th of 2023, a Reddit user had taken a photo of his kitchen late at night. The Reddit user claims that over the last couple of years, he's been hearing mysterious noises coming from his apartment. For the longest time, he's been trying to figure out the source of these noises. But then one night, while being in his living room, he takes a photo of his kitchen and captures this. It was only after enhancing the photo that he was able to see what looks to be a tall figure standing in his kitchen. He believes that whoever this is the person responsible for the strange noises he would hear at night. While the figure itself is pretty creepy, viewers believe that the Reddit user had actually caught something paranormal. Whatever this is appears to have no eyes and seems to be very tall when comparing it to the fridge on the side. But it only gets creepier because only a few days later, the Reddit user had posted a video of another strange occurrence. He left his camera recording overnight where the figure was spotted and captured this. If you look closely, you can see what looks to be a figure moving in the dark, but it's only after brightening the footage that the video becomes even more scary. This mysterious figure might just be the same person or thing caught in the previous photo. Now, it could be that a squatter is hiding inside his apartment, but then again, some viewers think that this supposed person is actually something supernatural. There haven't been any further updates on this story, but until then, you be the judge on what was captured. This next video comes from a bus driver in Singapore who had no idea that his day would start off with a very spooky encounter. It's 7 in the morning somewhere in Singapore when the driver of a large double-decker bus checks the security cameras of both decks inside the vehicle. On his dashboard, we can see live footage of what looks to be an empty bus, but upon looking closely, something pretty unnerving is seen on camera. Take a look.
Pagi dah buat seram ah. Kau tengok ni ya. Okey, kat atas ni ada orang kan. Jiwa betul lah. Pagi-pagi dah buat seram ah. Abi boleh ada orang kat atas kan. Sial kan, tak ada orang kan. Berderau darah aku lah. Celaka betul lah. Aku puas jerit kan dia suruh turun tadi kat dekat tempat turun orang. Nak bawa lagi ke sini. Pokemon betul lah.
As if seeing someone in what is supposed to be an empty bus wasn't creepy enough, the bus driver checks around and finds no one inside. It appears that whoever or whatever was seen on camera had simply vanished. If no one had been inside the bus, then who or what was this? A mother is alone at home watching TV when something pretty terrifying is caught on camera. The following video comes from Daniel Thompson, who lives happily with his mother in a 3-story house that is filled with lots of antiques and other priceless items that are fairly creepy to say the least. From expensive artifacts bought overseas to small collectibles that can't be found anywhere else, Daniel's mom has been collecting many antiquities ever since he was a child. However, out of all the items in this house, 2 in particular scare him the most. A porcelain doll that is placed at the front entrance of the house, and a dollhouse that for some reason makes him feel extremely uneasy. The dollhouse, according to Daniel, does something very strange. He's been recording it ever since with a security camera to see if the knocking continues and to hopefully find the source. But then one day, while passing by the room, this happens. It's late at night when Daniel captures this.
Guys. Do you hear that? Those are the tapping noises I was talking about.
A woman is woken up late at night by her dog, who is barking non-stop at something outside her house. Feeling very unsettled by her dog's behavior, she takes out her phone and records the following video. What she sees leaves her in total shock. Although it's hard to see at first, there seems to be a shadow-like figure standing completely still, while seemingly observing the woman, who shakes in fear at the sight of this mysterious being. Immensely terrified, the woman backs away slowly, hoping the shadowy figure doesn't move any closer to the property. It's safe to say that the strange presence has placed both her and her dog on high alert. But it would be the following night that places them in a state of complete terror. What happens next is beyond strange.
Hola gente, otra vez el ruido ese. Poco estoy haciéndome compañía hoy, pero ya estoy sola. Todavía se escucha un ruido de abajo. Y la verdad que no sé. Ay, con olor a algo ahí. Sora. Sora, subí. Ay, no, Dios santo. Nera.
Horrified beyond belief, a pair of long, skinny fingers emerge from underneath the staircase. But creepiest of all is the complexion of this mysterious being. Its pale skin tone is similar to that of a corpse that was freshly buried. Without delay, the woman runs down the staircase at full speed, hoping to capture whatever this was. But upon arriving down, nothing is seen below the stairs. Whatever had been there had seemingly disappeared. The exact source of this next clip is unknown, so very little context is given. But it doesn't take much to figure out what's going on in the video. Something very strange is caught on camera. The clip itself shows footage of a dog's cage. It's assumed the owner had bought the camera to watch their dog whenever they're away from home. On one occasion, the owner was looking over at the security camera to see what their dog was up to. But to their shock, they saw what may just be a reason for why they should be concerned for the safety of their dog. This is what they saw. Right from the start, we can see the dog looking at something that can't be seen on camera. Then strangely, without a moment's notice, the dog is seemingly thrown back as though something had struck them. But strangest of all is the door opening on its own immediately afterward, as though someone or something had went inside. But, like always, what do you think? Is this video solid proof of a ghost haunting a dog? Or might this be something that could easily be explained? Let me know your thoughts on this one. Monitors that capture something paranormal on camera, they usually tend to be creepy. But this next video may just be a lot more wholesome than scary. Whitney Allen is the mother of 2 children whose father tragically passed away in 2022 after suffering a brain injury caused by a bee sting. Apparently, Whitney's husband was severely allergic to bees. The bee sting he received was enough to send his body into cardiac arrest and affect his brain. After months of being in hospice care, he sadly passed away. To Whitney, the passing of her husband was extremely agonizing, but for him to pass away only 3 months later after the birth of their second child was painfully devastating. The fact that he wasn't able to stay for long to see their child grow up was unbearable to think about. Now, even though she feels that her husband wasn't able to meet their baby in a meaningful way on Earth, she believes that he was able to do so from the beyond. Late one evening, Whitney is looking over at the baby monitor when she sees a mysterious light on her child's head. At first, she thought this light was just a reflection on the screen, but when her child changed position on the bed, the light was still there. She couldn't help but think that this orb was actually her husband, as it seemed to be patting and stroking the baby's head. Who lives in England has been capturing video evidence of strange happenings inside their home. Ever since 1997, the family has been seeing things that they can't seem to explain. More often than not, they would hear strange noises coming out of nowhere and even see things move on their own. To the family, it seems that with every unusual occurrence that happens, the activity intensifies. Now, although they live in a constant state of fear, they still try their best to live comfortably in their own home. On one occasion, the family makes time to chat with one another and a friend of theirs who is visiting them. The father records the occasion on his phone, as moments like this rarely happen. All is going well, when suddenly, this happens.
He always pushes it through when I'm sitting on the sofa. It's so annoying.
Why are you moving closer and closer towards me? You're almost in my lap, Bubba.
Why is it in your coat?
She's ready to run. Don't you trust over there anymore, Bubba?
No more good thanks.
Why you moved out in the first place?
One of the reasons, yeah. Oh god.
Hey, stop honking the oven.
You go.
I'm alright. I'm so
We'll go together.
Yeah, get together. Yeah. It always happens on Julie.
I just don't even
Pointed up the stairs.
Oh my no.
I don't go.
There's nothing there. No, I can't.
There's nothing there.
Oh god.
Oh no.
As if things inside their home have finally settled, this happens. The sound of heavy footsteps walking about is heard above them. Seeming slightly unfazed, as they've seen stranger things before, they laugh about it and proceed to check on the source. But after standing momentarily at the base of the stairs, an unseen presence runs down at full speed. This may just be the scariest encounter they've ever had. But until more videos are posted, it seems that this one will stand out from any other creepy occurrence they experience. The next video was taken inside a mansion that is well known for being extremely haunted. On July 30th of 2022, Sabrina and her husband Carl decide to take a tour of the Aston Hall mansion located in Birmingham, England. The place itself isn't just known for being haunted, but also for its immaculate architecture that many are taken aback when seeing it in person. But it seems that the real reason people come here isn't just to admire the beauty of this place, but to experience the hauntings that tourists have encountered. There's a room in this mansion that once belonged to a young woman named Mary Holt. The story goes that Mary's father had heard that she planned to run away and marry one of the servants who worked there. Upset that his daughter would do such a thing, he goes to her room and locks her inside. Years would pass, and Mary would still be locked up inside this room. It was after 16 years of being grounded that Mary passed away. It is said that she died of starvation, but also partly of a broken heart. Now the story itself is quite tragic, but it seems that it wasn't tragic enough for Sabrina's husband, as according to her, he thought it would be funny to call out Mary after learning about her story. This is something Sabrina regrets, as she says that if it wasn't for her spouse calling out Mary, this chilling encounter wouldn't have happened. The two are climbing up the stairs to Mary's room when this is captured.
Mary? I mean you no harm. We know you're in there. We've seen you. Where are you, Mary? Mary?
Did you see it?
Mary? Mary? Are you still in there, Mary? You can come out now.
Inside Mary's old room, a shadow-like figure darts across the chamber in a swift motion. The two stand in silence while breathing heavily in anticipation. It doesn't show itself again until moments later after being called out by Sabrina's husband, as though acknowledging the husband's summoning. Now, something worth mentioning is that the couple doesn't enter the room to see what's inside. The reason for not doing so, according to them, is that the museum prohibits anyone from entering the room. As with any historical piece on display, this one is off limits to the public. To this day, Sabrina and her husband have no idea as to who or even what was caught on camera. It was reposted by someone who found the video somewhere. Even without a source though, the footage is still terrifying on its own. It starts off with a group of men who are looking down a manhole. They swear that they either saw someone or something inside it. The man recording takes a closer look and sees this.
Te lo juro que había algo ahí.
Nos devolvemos.
Créame que yo no lo hubiera llamado. Hubiera visto algo. Es que yo iba pasando por acá y esa vuelta está destapada. Obviamente.
No, si es risa,
Ahí en la parte al.
Pero si lo vio.
Without warning, the head of someone or something pops into view under the open manhole. Its sudden appearance was enough to send the man running away. Like something straight out of a horror movie, the face seemingly disappears as the man steps back. Whatever this was remains a total mystery, but real or not, the unexpected appearance of this ghoulish face is the stuff of nightmares. In a short video, a famous musician from Argentina had posted something pretty spooky that occurred at a friend's house. Jimena Barron was visiting a very close friend who she's known for over 5 years. Never has she ever encountered anything like this while being at her place. According to her, she was sitting outside in the backyard when suddenly she felt as though someone had grabbed her shoulder. She immediately gets up and turns around to see who it is, but strangely, no one is there. Now, although this incident doesn't seem that strange, it's the video itself that's by far the strangest. It wasn't until looking at the footage captured by the security camera outside that Jimena was left extremely terrified. If you zoom in on the video, you can see what appears to be a set of fingers touching Jimena's shoulder. It's hard to make out at first, but if you pause the video at the right time, you can see what looks like a row of distorted fingers. Now, what makes this even creepier is that Jimena stands up soon after the hand appears. Because of this, viewers believe that something had actually touched her. But, as always, what are your thoughts on this? Ghost or something else? You let me know. At approximately 1:30 in the morning, a truck driver was driving down a road that many truckers try avoiding at all costs. According to rumors, the road in question is believed to be cursed, as many drivers have either seen or been involved in an accident while commuting to their destination through this route. Now, it's not just accidents that often occur here, but also unexplainable sightings. There have been many reports from drivers who claim to have seen shadowy figures standing on the side of the road as though waiting for someone to pick them up. It's around 1:30 in the morning, somewhere in Louisiana, when a truck driver spots something very peculiar on the road he's on. Knowing the history of this place, he takes out his phone and begins to record. What he captures leaves him totally spooked.
Se llama Paco de Rey.
Someone, or something, appears to be squatting on the side of the road, doing who knows what before turning around to look at the driver. Aside from the fact that it's late at night in the middle of nowhere, the way in which they turn their head and wave at the camera seems quite unnatural. It's for this reason that some viewers believe that a skinwalker, or a cryptid of some sort, was caught on camera. Whether a ghost, cryptid, or person, no new information has been brought forth to clarify what exactly was captured. That is well known for being one of the biggest plazas in the city of Pucallpa. A lot of kids come here as the plaza holds events primarily aimed at children. Even the mascot of this place is designed to appeal to a young audience, which is pretty evident by the numerous TV ads run by this mall. With so many kids running around the place, it's no surprise that accidents often happen here. But one accident in particular has left many people unsettled. In 2016, a young girl named Valentina Yamalith had been playing around at an instant photo booth where an exposed cable from the machine was touching a metal railing near the kiosk. Valentina grabbed onto the railing and was instantly electrocuted. Unfortunately, due to the high voltage she received, Valentina was pronounced deceased only hours later. Understandably, Valentina's family had mourned and grieved for days on end. Fast forward to a few years later, and Valentina's story is no longer talked about. Or so it seems. As of recent, the same plaza where Valentina had passed away has been experiencing strange activity within its stores. It's late at night, after business hours, when a surveillance camera inside a store captures this. The video shows what looks to be a small child zooming back and forth at a speed beyond human capacity. As if seeing a child alone inside a store that is closed wasn't strange enough, it runs at a supernatural speed. Employees of the mall can't help but think that this may have been the ghost of Valentina, given the tragic history of this plaza. But you be the judge. Was the spirit of Valentina caught on camera, or had something else been captured? The person recording is alone at home when all of a sudden something bone-chilling is caught on camera. Now, the person in question is known as Caitlin, and it was 2 years ago that she was involved in a terrible accident. On August 8th of 2020, Caitlin jumped off a rope swing at a very high altitude, causing her to break her neck after landing on a pile of rocks. This injury was so severe that she had to stay home for more than a few weeks until she recovered. But during her stay at home, Caitlin would encounter something that still haunts her to this day. No one else is home when this is captured.
Oh my god.
Somehow, the two doors open on their own, seemingly at the same time. Feeling beyond spooked, Caitlin sits on her bed, paralyzed with fear. Previous clip. This one captures what appears to be an apparition manifesting and disappearing at the same time. It's pretty strange. Check it out. Could this be a glitch with the camera, or is this actually a ghost? Whether glitch or ghost, this is still pretty creepy to see.
I've caught a ghost on camera. Okay, there it is right there. Watch. It goes all the way across the camera. Now that you know where it's at, I'll pull out a little bit and just watch this thing. It goes all the way across. And there's not a light because there is no light back there behind. You can see up on the hill back there. There's no light there. There's nobody over here. But it's still going across the camera.
Robin doesn't know what to make of this. His only guess is that this might be a ghost, which seems to be the case. But as usual, I'll let you be the judge of that. Elizabeth Watson went out with some friends to a bar in Salzburg, Austria, and captured something pretty creepy on camera. I'll let her explain what happened.
I always show this photo around Halloween time because it still totally freaks me out. But about 10 years ago, I was studying at the Salzburg International Ballet Academy in Salzburg, Austria. You can see me here, right here. And one night after a long week of dancing, some friends and I all went out to this bar called O'Malley's in downtown Salzburg. And if you ever find yourself in Salzburg, definitely look it up. It's awesome. Anyways, we're here at O'Malley's and we're having a good time and everything's fine. And Allison here in the middle was taking photos throughout the night and nothing of consequence happened. She took a bunch of pictures. We all went back home to the States about a month later and she finally uploaded the photos. And she uploaded this photo right here. And you can see me, I'm being sort of a downer over here for whatever reason. But Allison's dancing in the background and you can see behind her this figure. And it has a face, guys. Like, it has a face.
What makes this apparition creepy is the fact that according to viewers, this ghostly figure shares the resemblance of La Santa Muerte, which translates to Saint Death. As the name implies, Santa Muerte is a Catholic deity associated with death and the afterlife. With this in mind, it makes you wonder if the presence of this supposed deity meant that someone at this bar was going to die. Who knows? On a side note, there's something else that Elizabeth missed in her photos. In the second pic, if you look closely, there appears to be another ghost-like figure in the background. Now this could have been caused by the camera's movement, but I could be wrong. Robin at her doorbell's footage when something in the video catches her attention. Check this out.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
This could be a case of interference caused by a transmitter that was close in proximity, but Nicole states otherwise, as she was told by a representative of the doorbell company that her footage is very odd and could not have been caused by interference. If it wasn't interference, then what was it? The cemetery is the last place I think of to prank someone there, and the reason for this is not just out of respect for the deceased, but also out of fear, as the following illustrates. In the middle of the night, two cousins went out for a drive with their two kids. They were hoping to scare them silly by taking them to a cemetery where they would scare them. However, little did they know that they too would be getting scared. Both cousins right. We took the boys to the cemetery down the road at midnight on a full moon. After pretending my car ran out of gas and we were stranded with no phones or flashlights in the middle of all the graves, we sufficiently freaked them out. Then I told them that we had to take pictures around us because if there were ghosts, they would appear in the pictures. Hand to God, this is what appeared in one of her pictures. Now we are all freaked. There appears to be a ghost-like figure in the distance. Whatever this is, it sure is unsettling. But, as with most images thought to be paranormal, this could be a case of pareidolia, a phenomenon that causes people to see things, like people, that aren't really there. So, ghost or hoax? What do you think? The following clip shows a Tesla car detecting what seems to be a ghost.
Oh yeah, that'll show the camera, you're right. Little man there. But there's nothing there that should be.
Maybe it's the chair?
I don't know, it's showing it directly behind him. Remember when you were doing it? You had to be directly behind the car to cause it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the chair.
Because when you stood next to it, to the side, it didn't show a little man. The detectors are...
Why is it moving?
Yeah, it's going back and forth.
I don't know, man.
That's weird. Oh, now he's
Where's
next to
another
it.
one?
It was next to it. Okay, was that my door?
What the f?
Why is it sensing all this? That one could just be the trash can, because the trash can's right
but
there.
But it wasn't there before.
Yeah, it just popped up out of the blue.
Moved.
He's gone. Remember how accurate it was with that motorcycle?
It was very accurate.
Exactly. So if it was that accurate with the motorcycle, I can't imagine.
Considering how advanced Tesla's technology is, one can't help but wonder if this might be a paranormal incident. Could it be that Tesla's tech is so advanced that it's capable of detecting things that the human eye can't? Or is that just a far-fetched theory? Ghost or glitch? Which one is it? Madison Nicole was FaceTiming her boyfriend, who was inside his car parked outside a restaurant. When he went to go pick up his order, she was left alone on this call. But little did she know that she wasn't actually alone. As Madison was waiting for her boyfriend to come back, she saw something that scared the living daylights out of her. In the backseat of his car, she saw what appeared to be a face. But if you look closely, there's something off about this face. It looks like something unholy. Madison couldn't sleep after seeing this, and I'm assuming her boyfriend had trouble sleeping as well. I wouldn't be surprised, as this truly is the stuff of nightmares. Facebook user Real Mystery Hunter was live streaming a paranormal investigation at a place in Indonesia that is known to be haunted. During this live stream, viewers were left unsettled by the events that unfolded. Take a look.
Hop nggak ada. Hop nggak ada. Hah? Hop nggak ada. Nggak ada di belakang ya. Muntah kau nanti li, muntah nanti. Astagfirullahaladzim. Hep. Ada dengar suara weh? Astagfirullahaladzim, tunggu kita menjauh sedikit.
Viewers believe that this might be the ghost of a kuntilanak, which according to Indonesian folklore, is a female ghost that passed away during her pregnancy and attacks men and even kills them out of revenge for failing to conceive a child. Whether this was a kuntilanak or not, the footage alone is enough to keep you from visiting such places. Being a guy, I for sure would stay away from this place. Griffith Park in Los Angeles is well known for being a hotspot for suspicious activity. It is rumored that satanic rituals take place there, among other cult-related practices. From personal experience, I can assure you that Griffith Park has lots of cultish activity. But don't take my word for it. Just watch this video that was taken by someone who was hiking there.
Oh my god! Oh yes! Thank you!
This doesn't rule out the possibility of this being someone who was acting hysterical. But given the history of this place, the thought of this being, Reddit user Princess Lena received a video from her friend who didn't realize that she captured something really disturbing in the background. Princess Lena writes, "Something with a red face came up behind my friend. She was drinking, and there was no one else in the room with them. It randomly shows up behind the girl on the left. Here's the video that she received." The more you look at it, the more it looks like a burnt victim. Viewers have asked if the home at which the video was taken is haunted. Princess Lena states that it is haunted, as there have been instances of a typewriter going off in the middle of the night. She believes that it's her friend's grandmother who is haunting the place, as she passed away in that same home. But Princess Lena is certain that whatever this is, it isn't her grandmother. She can't help but think that this thing is inhumane. I think so too, but what do you think? Feel free to share down below.